No, when it happens first, it's all negatives. You just don't know where you are, what, is happening around you and anything,
Rehab is a lifetime job now for me, And I'm working on, but I'm okay with it.
Just because it's not visible doesn't mean it's not there. Because look, most of us now inside in the room, you wouldn't think there was anything wrong with most of us. And every one of us is affected in some way or another.
In general, there should be an awareness made of that. When somebody is speaking, you listen. You give people the time to speak. People start speaking for you. That makes you more confused.
But the memory was very bad for ages. But just couldn't think of it. You knew it, but you couldn't think of it. I actually consider memory loss unreal. It's unreal disability.
I just cursed away for the day, I hadn't a clue. Just hadn't a clue what was going on,
You want to be treated like a human being, which everyone has a right to feel. It's important to inform someone of your situation so they can make allowances for you, but you don't want to be treated like a child. You want to be treated, you want to be treated like everyone else, but that they're aware of the fact that, look, this person mightn't quite understand what I'm saying.
I mean, what's wrong with us isn't visible really to most people, It's a big drawback, when you're going anywhere or trying to do anything. People are kind of rushing you, thinking you're normal, and as near enough as we can get to normal, but we're not normal, We're a step behind the rest, maybe, So it can be a bit frustrating at times, thinking of it that way, If you were out in the main street, nobody would step out of your way, no matter how bad you were going on. But I'm not expecting to be snapped up by any company or anything, for any employment in the near future, but changed my life completely. Gave me a different way of thinking altogether. Besides the mad rat race I was in, that I got knocked out of, but I'm in a rat race now as well, but it's not, I wouldn't say, well, I suppose it's not a rat race, but I'm living now compared to rushing and racing, and I know nowadays I'm trying to make the old brain or the stroke sound positive, but I suppose in a way it have had a positive effect on me, as in some things, But the way I see it now, the majority of people out there with disabilities are brain injuries. But as I said, it's only since I got mine now that I can understand that. So I suppose maybe we're being a bit harsh on the people out there, but I think there needs to be a lot more awareness of brain injury to the public, made available to the public. But education for people is a big thing, but how you're going to put it across, I don't know. I never understood, even though my mother died from a stroke. But I still never got the grasp of it, I just thought it was some sort of a physical, more than I didn't tie it to a brain injury, I'm in a different place now than I was 3 years ago, a year before I got my stroke. Huge difference. Totally different planet altogether, man.
What I found now dealing with government bodies, I found that was difficult. If I get frustrated, I get very emotional, and I don't have any control over my crying or anything like that, or if I get anxious. So you feel by doing that, if you cry in front of someone, you're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing them, and you don't want to create those situations. But I found when I was dealing with government bodies, you'd have to actually tell them, look, you need to speak slower to me because sometimes I mightn't understand what you're saying to me. And you should just, I suppose when you say that to them, they might understand. But to have to say it is hard. I find it hard. Some people don't find it difficult.
I'm not a person believing in hiding what has happened. I think it's important that people are aware of what happens to people, the implications of what happens to people as well. But because outwardly I don't have any physical signs of this, okay, people might say to you, how come you're not working? Okay. They're not aware of the past difficulties that you're having, or they might have said, well, you're an epileptic, aren't you? I am, but I mean, it's a long time since you had a seizure. How come you're not back working and stuff like that? They don't realise what goes on internally as well. After suffering these medical problems, there's a lot of other issues that happen as well with it, tirednesses. It's extremely disappointing to be knocked out and get sick because it places restrictions and limitations on what you can do going forward. But it does make you much more aware of the values that you have in relation to your family and your close friends as well, which you wouldn't have seen before. They were there, but you mightn't have appreciated it as much as you should have done so. But now you do.
Well, it's more or less people telling you can't do something. That you're capable of doing before. They tell you, oh, you can't do that anymore. Like my family, not even family, but friends just said, oh, you'll forget about that, look for something different. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. So I didn't know my two youngest children when I woke up, I didn't know them. I'd be reintroduced to them, shown loads of photographs. But even now last year, when we did the portfolios last year, the woman that was doing the assessments, she came in from outside and turned around and said, Jesus, she said you wouldn't think there was that wrong with any of these people. And that was her first time ever meeting any of us.
I had a very bad brain injury as a result of a motorsport accident, car crash in September '06. I was unconscious for 6 weeks in hospital for 6 months. But thankfully I've cured. I'm pretty good now, thankfully. Everything else was pretty, so thankfully now I didn't know physical effects. Not like some people. I was fortunate really. It does, but there's people putting too much emphasis on it. Friendship as you go along is very important, but your biggest friendship is friendship at home. And your true friends at home. But meeting new people and making friends with them is brilliant. And they understand the way, so you don't have to explain. That's great. But I just look forward always, never look back. Just keep going forward. If you make a mistake, get on with it, do the next thing.
He's the same person to me. I don't treat him differently. And I don't like when people do. We went one day to collect some car parts for the garage. And I know he didn't mean anything now, but the chap that was serving us, he only knows me through Owen. He knows Owen for years. And we stood at the counter, Owen was beside me. He didn't look at Owen and he asked me, how's Owen? And I said, he's there. He can answer you. He's not stupid, I said. He got a stroke. He will answer you. So you can ask him. And Owen says to me, you're terrible. But I said, you can answer. I said, it might take a little bit of time. But I said, you're a person. You're your own person. You got a stroke. It's through no fault of your own. You're slower at answering now. But you're not stupid, so people shouldn't treat you that way. There's little things like that can kind of annoy me more than Owen. He kind of would pass it off. But I know people probably don't mean it, but they don't know how to deal with people, I suppose.
My life has changed. I know, even all the friends I had now in Ballincolligan that I used to play golf with, I just only see them on the odd Thursday that it's, in Tracy's. But I don't, my life has changed and theirs has changed as well, Like they can't be watching me all the time, that kind of thing. So I just have to get on with it, like. Oh yes, there was frustrations, all right, very, my work, I thought I could go back to work straight away, I thought, like, but no, I know for a fact that my doctor said to me, like, you're not going to work. Like, it'll get better.
I have to wait for the bus to stop completely before I can get up off the seat. If I know the bus drivers on the bus route that I'm taking, it's fine. They know me. They know that I have to get to the seat before I sit down. But if there's a new bus driver on the bus, he would know me. So when I get on the bus, some of the bus drivers, I have a habit of, when people get on the bus, the doors closed, they pay their money, they're heading to their seat. The bus driver is inclined to head off. So he's taking his foot off the brake, which causes not a big jerk, but it jerks enough for a person with no balance like myself that if I'd have to hold on to something. When is the right time to ask for something, you know? You're always asking at the wrong time. When is the right time to ask it? Like, I'm frustrated by that. When is the right time to ask it? Like, can you cut my hair? I could do it, will I do it later? That means I have to ask them again later. And that frustrates me. Like, the question is like, when is the right time to ask you? Like, so I mean, the independence is gone from you. Your full independence is gone. You're dependent on something. I can't go fishing. I can't play the guitar, which I love. If I was able to play the guitar again, it would pass away hours, you know. Hobbies are gone, like. But even so, like, a different way of life is taken up. Like, I'm meeting different people. I'm joining stroke groups. I'm involved on the internet. I'm nearly computer literate now because I spend a lot of times looking up the stroke groups on Facebook, you know. So there's no things that I'm taking up, no people that I'm meeting, no organisations that I'm going to. I get some independence back.
I don't give up. Sure, they told me I'd never drive again and I'm back driving. Told me I wouldn't walk without a stick and I'm walking without a stick as well. So I don't believe in giving up.